Hello, my name is Ernesto, and I'll be trying my hand in vlogging. Now, the purpose of this vlog is mainly for myself, as selfish as that may sound, but it's really to hold myself accountable for my goals that I set for myself this year. Um, One of my goals is to lose weight and to lead a healthier lifestyle, eating right, exercising more, stressing a lot less about things in life, and most importantly, having fun with family and friends. I want to record this moment so I can look back to see how far and how much I've progressed in weight loss and the overall well being of myself. And if this helps others in achieving their goals for this year, it's just an added bonus. I'm all for that. A little background about me is I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised. Oh wait, wrong one. Astros, go Astros. Um, and I'm 21, 29 years old, and that's also a big motivating factor. Before my 30th birthday to get healthier. I live with my girlfriend and our two spoiled dogs, Marley and Marlin. I'm a huge nerd and gamer, as you can tell from my wall back here with all the stuff, and I have plenty more stuff in my office. Um, a little bit of background about me is as I've always been the big kid growing up in school as far as height and weight. Oftentimes I would be mistaken that I was held back for a few years because of my height. And it wasn't until high school that I kind of controlled my weight. I used to was in the swim team. Actually, in my neighborhood, we had a swim team for the summer, and I did that for over 10 years. After high school, I got into tennis, where I really lost a lot of weight. I was playing mainly every day for about 4 hours or so. When I came back from college, I kind of gained weight once I started working, adulting. And I gained about 50 pounds or so in about 5 years, mainly about the location of where I was working. There wasn't much food options, it was always fast food. And the hours that I was working 16-hour days. But that's healthcare for you. And then I started to work out with some good friends of mine who were also personal trainers. I lost about 30 pounds and I was really leaning up. I was gaining muscle mass, but also slimming down. Around that time, I started doing some 5Ks, some fun runs, and then tried doing some obstacle races like Tough Mudder and the Spartan races. I also started to pick up cycling. I wanted to get back into swimming, and my best friend's mom, she was doing triathlons, so might as well do that. I mean, I've ridden a bike, of course. I didn't know all that entailed in long distance bike riding, but swimming came naturally to me. Um, and I've done several things like that. Like I did a century ride, which is 100 miles in a ride. Um, for the Spartan races, I trifected, with meaning that I did the three distances and I got my medals for it. Um, and then I got into a serious relationship with my girlfriend, and you know how that goes. You gain a lot of weight. You don't really try that hard anymore. And then in 2016, I started noticing some signs and symptoms of possibly me being diabetic. Besides, discoloration of the skin, but I was also having these frequent urination bouts that literally like every 5 minutes I was going to the restroom, and I was drinking a lot of water. I was constantly thirsty, and of course, one of the nurses said, "I think there's something going on." It's like, yeah, I've been thinking about the same thing, and sure enough, I was diagnosed with diabetes. Um, I took medication for my blood sugar and still taking medication for my blood sugar. I tried changing my eating habits, like cutting out sodas, not trying to eat as much junk food. I was already drinking a lot of water. But then around October, November, there was a day where I felt really, really ill. I was nauseated, dizzy spouts, had muscle weakness. I just felt really bad. And one of my coworkers decided to check my blood sugar, and it was 400 plus. And it was really weird because I had taken my medicine like I was supposed to the night before. I really didn't eat too much, but it was like a healthy dinner. So nothing to explain why my blood sugar was so high. I kind of attributed it to the stress that I was having at that particular point in time. I decided then that I needed to become more serious about my health. Finally saying that I finally doing the things that I needed to do, like lose the weight that I said that I was going to do. At that point I was 300 plus pounds. So I said, oh, I want to lose 100 pounds. At least try to get back to the weight that I was in high school. Um, trying to find ways to reduce the stress in my life. Try to get on a better sleep cycle because I was doing 12-hour plus days and holding down two jobs. So one of the things that I changed was my position at my company that I was at. I chose a different position, so the hours are a little bit more regular, if you will. Um, they're not the 12 plus hour days; they're more of the 8 hour days. So that way I can sleep earlier in the evenings. Try to reset my sleep patterns. Also, really focus on eating right. Um, I started this in December, just before the new year even began. I really don't drink sodas that often. If I do, I try to get like the Sprite Zero, the Coke Zero, or like root beer, anything like that. But I mainly drink water, and I that's my main drink that I try to do, or I try to do like water infusions with like cucumber and lemons and things like that. Also, like I just want to not be diabetic anymore, not having to worry about checking my blood sugars. For one, I hate needles, terrified of needles, and as ironic as that might be, I work in the healthcare where I'm constantly sticking people with needles. Go figure. But also not having to worry about taking medications. I don't want to deal with any of that. I want to live a healthier lifestyle. So my goals for this year, and I kind of set a deadline for my birthday, which is late November. Obviously, try to lose 75 to 100 pounds. I know realistically it'll probably be closer to 75. Also, reverse my health deficits like diabetes, and technically, I am classified as obese, even though have broad shoulders and I'm pretty tall. But that's still taken into consideration. Also, I want to get back to running more 5Ks, 10Ks, and half marathons. So I want to get back into doing those, being more active, and doing these little small little uh, races where I can feel like I did something as an accomplishment for me. Also, another thing, I had mentioned that I was doing cycling, and I had did one called Bike Around the Bay here, where we go around Galveston Bay. But I only had did day one. This year, I want to do both days, which I think combined is about like 180 miles, or 190 miles. I can't remember. But I want to be able to do those long distances, maybe even do like the MS 150 or other longer rides. Um, and one of my big goals is to compete in the half Ironman and the full Ironman. One of my biggest dreams that I had set since high school was I always wanted to cross the finish line at Kona at the World Championship Ironman. Just to say that I finished in that race, that I became an Ironman. There's something special, or at least to me, to hearing that when you cross the line, when they say your name and say that you are an Ironman. That's one of my big goals, at least to attempt to complete them this year, if not for sure next year. So to help accomplish my goals, like I said, I wanted to start this vlog, not necessarily a daily vlog, but uh, where I record my workouts, what I've eaten, kind of what I've done for the day as far as exercise. I'll be taking it kind of slow, stretching, doing some light yoga, doing a lot of body weight exercises like squats, burpees, lunges, planks, things like that, just to get my body used to being active again. I'll also be taking my measurements, my health measurements like blood sugar, blood pressure, weight, and then just body measurements, just so I have a starting point, someplace that I can go back and reference to see how I'm progressing. As the saying goes, it takes 21 days to form a new habit. Whether or not that is true or not, I figured trying doing something every day for the next, I believe it is 327 days that I had set for myself, the goal, to my birthday, just so I can try to meet all my goals. That's the plan, and hopefully I can do something. All right. So this is day one of 327 days of New year, better me. Not a new me, but a better me. Thank you.